Hello, fellow Star Wars, The Clone Wars action figure collectors. Well, I have to say, I'm very happy. And as you can see in my screen here, I managed this past weekend to score the Clone Wars ARC Trooper Battle Pack, which was, out of all of the toys that are planned to come out this fall, was probably the absolute thing that I wanted the most, between Star Wars Clone Wars figures, Star Wars Legacy figures, and even the G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra figures. These figures here that you see in front of you were the ones that, out of everything that I saw, I wanted the most. And I've been sitting on the internet the past few weeks watching people get them and keep going to Toys R Us and Walmart and Target and all these places and checking and asking the people there, if they got new shipments in. And finally, this past Saturday morning, all of that diligence paid off for me because, and I'm going to tell the story because it is a really cool story, one of those things that only happens to collectors every once in a while. I went on Friday night, do my normal rounds to check all the stores, and of course they didn't have anything new. Toys R Us has this huge, awesome display in the front with Yoda and General Grievous and Captain Rex and all this stuff, and there hasn't been any figures under the display. There's just been Lego figures and Lego sets, and then maybe one or two Clone Wars and Legacy figures, and no battle packs at all. So it's been a little bit frustrating. Of course, I go to the other places and check them too, and they don't have it on Friday night, and I'm honestly bummed. So Saturday morning I had some errands to do, and one of the errands happened to put me out by Toys R Us, which is really just right around the corner from my house. I can walk to Toys R Us in about 10-15 minutes. So I just said, well, sometimes, they don't put everything out on Friday. My Toys R Us usually gets their truck on Thursday night or so and puts everything out on Friday, and then everybody goes shopping on Friday, and by the time that I get there, I'm lucky if there's anything good left. But I try to get there early and catch something. Well, this Saturday I just moseyed in there on my errands really quick, run in and just check to see. And of course, I walked to the big huge display in the front, and there's nothing there again. And I'm like, well, let's walk to the back because there's more stuff in the back. Maybe they put stuff out in the back because it's closer to the storage area and blah 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 blah. So I walk back there and I look at the pegs, and they're all filled, which before they were very sparsely filled. There was probably only 3 or 4 figures per peg, and this time they're packed. And I look up and I see Goji on the peg, and I grab him because I'm like, oh, Goji, I want to get him too. I haven't gotten him yet. And then I look on another peg and I see Flamethrower Clone, and I'm like, oh, cool. So I grab him. And then, and of course I had already checked the battle packs, and nothing there, and just the same old Wave 1 stuff. And I look on the pegs, and I also see new Ki-Adi-Mundi, and I'm like, I'll get him later. There was like 3 or 4 of them there. I wasn't that worried about it. So I look up, because my Toys R Us has big huge shelves that go all the way almost up to the ceiling, and I see a whole bunch of boxes there. They've had about 5 to 8 boxes with the Slave 1 pack up there, but I look to the left of those and there's a bunch of boxes up there. So I start walking around Toys R Us to try to find a person that works there, and I find this old lady there, and I say to the old lady, can I get some help on the Star Wars aisle, please? And she's like, well, what do you need? I said, well, I'm looking for a specific battle pack. It's called ARC Troopers, and I noticed that you still had some boxes that hadn't been unpacked up on the shelf. Well, whatever's out on the shelf is what we got. And I was like, well, there's some boxes up there. Can you please just tell me what's in them? I said, because I really would like to get this battle pack if you guys have it in stock. So she kind of reluctantly walks over with me to the aisle, and I look up there and she goes, oh, that's not the same thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm reading all the labels out loud to her, and I'm like, no, that can't be it, no, that can't be it. And I show her the box of the battle packs, the one that has Anakin, Ahsoka, Cad Bane, and Yoda in it, and I say, this is what I'm looking for, except it doesn't have these figures in it. It has ARC Troopers in it, and it says ARC Troopers right on the front, ARC. And she scans the box, and she looks at her little doodad, her little tricorder in her hand there, and she's like, well, there's one more box in the back that we haven't brought out yet. Let me go check. So I'm like, yes, that's it. So I'm waiting and waiting. She comes back about 2 minutes later, and she pops the box open, and I see their heads down inside there. And there's only 4 boxes in there, and there's only one ARC Trooper set. So that's how I got it. And I looked at the lady and I said, can I have a hug? And she's kind of a curmudgeon old lady, you know. It didn't seem like she really wanted to help me, and she just kind of smiled at me. She could tell I was really happy, made my day, and I give her a hug. I said, you just made my whole month. And I walked out, and I got the ARC Troopers. So I'm going to do another video on these guys for the review. I just wanted to tell the story about how I got them, and how, you know, I've been waiting a long time for them, and it was just a really kind of a cool story I wanted to share about how I scored my ARC Troopers Battle Pack. So may the Force be with you, and stay tuned for the review.